Hey everyone, this is Rob,
And Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast and everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. All right, so this week up on the docket, we have, of course, as always, our account progress and any updates we have for you guys with that. And then we also have the update for this week, which is actually kind of, I guess, a fairly cool quality of life update for anyone still or anyone using the default launcher. So we'll be
Okay.
talking about that, some pretty cool features added, and we also have a bit of a Q&A talking about the recent last week's update rather, and that's the activity advisor. So a lot of questions about
Yeah.
what it is, when you're going to be able to use it, who's using it right
Why
now.
I wasn't in the beta.
Well, we'll go over that exactly, and
Oh,
then
okay.
we'll also be talking about the future of it and other possible things that might be associated with it, and also some free-to-play discussions, which is
Okay.
kind of surprising.
They actually are doing something for free to play? Imagine.
Maybe not. We'll
Oh.
see. But either way, so we'll be talking about that. Also, there was a little bit of news or discussion about PvP, so we'll probably be covering a little bit about that. And of course, ending off with a little bit of a Q&A, a few questions
Yep.
for the community. And if you want to get your questions in here, feel free to ask us on any of our socials. We usually have that in the description or at the end of the video.
Yeah.
But before we get into any of that, Michelle, how's it going?
Going pretty well. I've started playing on mobile sometimes, aka like right now and one other time this week,
Yeah.
which is cool because Alfresco pointed out to me that, I mean, maybe it's an iPhone thing. I don't know because it doesn't work for Robert, but I logged in and
No,
it saves my password.
it works for me, but sometimes if like there can be an error and it logs you out, and
Oh.
yeah, when it does that, it'll like log out your credentials as well.
Yeah, the thing is, Robert and I, neither of us know our passwords. They're that random.
Yeah,
So we can't just log in whenever we want.
yeah.
So
Well,
that's what stopped me.
I do that because the password protection in RuneScape is non-existent.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even case sensitive. So I don't have a normal password. I use like a random generator thing and I just have it written down. So I don't log into RuneScape unless I'm at home.
Yeah, I think I have. It's either 18 or it's the most amount of characters you can have in a password for RuneScape.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it is, but
Like
I did that too.
I think I tried to do 20 or 21 and it wouldn't let me because there was too many. So I think it's like 18.
Which is funny. You can't even do case sensitive and you can't have it too long.
Oh, yeah.
Safety.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been doing that a little bit. I've been like woodcutting. I actually got my woodcutting up to 86, which is cool.
Nice. Almost
Yeah.
90.
Almost. I really want to get to redwoods, so I'm just excited to even get to 87 soon, because then I can boost to go to redwoods sometimes.
Have you thought about teaking?
No,
Okay.
because I just want to do the AFK.
Yeah.
I want to like be able to just like do it a few hours every day when I'm not really paying attention, if I can, because I
Yeah.
really want to get 90.
Usually I'm not one for like, min-maxing things, but
I know teaks are nice. I did it.
yeah, teaks there's just more than twice as fast.
Yeah, I did it whenever I was trying to get to 85 for the diary to boost to 90.
Yeah, it's just it's so much faster that it's if you can manage it for even an hour, it's just a lot of time or
Yeah.
a lot of time saved.
But if I were doing click stuff, I'd want to be doing Sire, because I've been enjoying Sire.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that big of a kill count.
Is that why you bought the bow?
No. Well, that was going to be my next spoiler thing that I
Spoiler?
did. Whenever I was doing raids, somebody asked if I don't have the bow of Ferdinand, and I didn't realize that it's better than the Dragon Hunter crossbow, even at like Ulm and stuff.
Yeah.
So
it just costs
it costs a lot.
2 times the price. Well, actually 3 times the price of the Dragon Hunter. So
No. Dragon Hunter's 80 mil,
and the bow is 150, and the
Yeah.
armor is how much?
I already have the armor.
Okay.
So
Well,
this
the
is-
armor,
well, I was gonna say, this
okay,
is
so
what-
if you don't include half of it,
Listen, I already bought the armor. I bought it back in May, and I never used it because I'm like, oh, I can't afford the bow of Ferdinand, because I didn't know that it's better than the Dragon Hunter crossbow, and it's better than Armadillo armor. So I sold all my Armadillo armor, sold my crossbow, and I ended up, it almost evened out. I think I ended up having to spend like 20 extra mil to buy stuff for crystal shards, but now I have,
because you corrupted it.
yeah, I corrupted it. So
Did
now
you
I have
change the
fully
color of
corrupted. I changed it to blue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like it. The red is cool, but it doesn't match the armor. Like,
yeah.
they should make you change the armor if you change the color, because it doesn't match.
Well, I mean, I don't know. They only added like the weapon changing colors like
Just to show it's
pretty
corrupted.
recently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do wish it matched. Another thing, I wish you could have boots that looked better than the Pegasians, going with this like light blue, icy colored armor, and then she's like bright green boots.
Well, yeah. It's also funny. Random like fact is whenever they came out with the color changing for the I don't even know if the bow of Ferdinand was out at the time, or if you could color it.
I
at
think it
least.
was. It was that and the Blade of Salador they did it for.
I don't think you could color it at the beginning though. I think you
Oh.
could only color the blade.
I don't remember.
But
It was
either
a while
way,
ago.
the black color for the recolor, you have to like buy it from a vendor in Prifddinas.
Yeah, it's
And
500,000.
It was sold out for so long because people were just like buying them out and selling them back to people.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, the black one looked cool too, but I just really want the crystal armor is probably from what I can think of right now, probably my favorite looking armor set in the entire game.
Yeah,
The fashionscape's dope, so I just wanted it to match.
that's cool.
But yeah, I got the Bofa and it was cool. I finally went to Jad last night. I got dared to go to Jad because if you don't know, I had to give up my fire cape the other week for our subathon. I mean, like, it was only like a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
I gave it up to try Inferno, and I've been not wanting to go back until I got a Jad task. But I've been doing like Abyssal Sire, so it's slow as heck. And I've also been like doing raids, so I've not gone to Jad task. So I got dared to do it, and I skipped the rest of my Abyssal task, and I actually got Jad as my next task, which was dope.
Nice. Yeah, that's really lucky.
Yeah, and Bofa was very cool. I used it on Jad only, and it was nice. I got the Fire Cave, didn't get the pet. It was my 30th kill. I never use Rigor whenever I'm at fight caves except for into Jad, and I did
Really?
that. I don't know why I never did.
It's so much slower.
Yeah, well, it didn't make that much of a difference, to be honest. But
Okay.
it didn't. I didn't beat my new time or anything.
I mean,
But
if you used it throughout the whole thing and you didn't beat your time.
I started using it around wave 10. Someone told me to start using it.
Yeah, I guess that's weird.
I had to stop using it with like 3 levels left because I was almost out of super restores because I don't bring that much prayer because I've never done that before.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, usually you just flick it because you're not attacking all the time.
I was just keeping it on because I didn't want to be there and I was just trying to speed it.
I guess usually what I mean is like usually you're not being attacked, so you don't like need to have it on. You can just like sit there and flick it.
Yeah, exactly. But I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Okay.
So whenever I finished Jad, I literally had like 19 prayer left. I didn't even use Rigor for Jad because I didn't have any prayer pots left.
Nice.
But it still was like a really fast Jad kill, so both was nice. I
Yeah.
like it.
I mean, it's definitely one of the best weapons in the game.
Yeah,
Well, when you use it with the set, of course.
I used the blowpipe for the rest of the fight caves though, just because it was faster. I used the Bofa for a little bit because someone pointed out how like I have unlimited charges, but then I went back to using the blowpipe when I realized I was running out of prayer and it was much slower to shoot those arrows.
If I had to guess, the Bofa is better against like later wave enemies, like the melees and the mages, just because
Probably.
it has higher accuracy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I think that's if you're trying to like min max it or whatever.
Yeah, which I didn't really care. I just wanted to try out my new stuff and I just needed to get my fire cape back. So it worked.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so funny. Every time I do fight caves, especially people who haven't seen me do fight caves before, everyone's like, why do you always bring so much brews? Because I bring a lot of brews. I bring like, I think 15 brews.
Why do you bring so many brews?
And I bring 5 super restores. This is what I've done since I first learned it. And I'm just now used to it. I always bring that much. But now everyone always like asks, they're like, you don't need to bring this much. And I'm like, yes, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
Like it actually doesn't make sense. Like you can't use that many brews with that many super restores.
It's for the meme now, okay?
You know, like I mean, the ratio is like 3 to 1, right? Like, three brews is, or three doses of brew is 1 dose of super restore.
Yeah, so that does work. 15 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
I did it exactly.
But what's attacking you? Like, what are you even getting hit by?
I don't want to explain myself because I have no reasoning here. It's just I've always done it, and now I just do it because it's funny whenever everyone's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, shush.
Oh.
A lot of people start explaining it to me like I've never done Jad before, and they're like, oh, you actually don't need this much food. I'm like, I have like 30 kill count. This is just a thing I do now.
Oh.
This is just my life.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
That's
fine.
weird.
I know everyone says something about it, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'm doing it.
Oh, that's a good way of looking at it.
Yeah. But, I mean, next time I'll bring more super restores and just keep Rigor on the entire time, but I don't care. I mean, I'd rather bring a bunch of food, and I don't know. I don't think it matters if I die with all the food. Who cares if I don't have, if I survive and have extra food, like, why does it matter,
Okay.
It's not efficient. But anyway, Other than that, Robert's face is so judgy right now.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't make any sense, but I just do it because now it's like a superstitious thing, I guess.
That makes even more little sense.
I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
No, you just said you're superstitious, so.
I am superstitious about weird things.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an anxiety thing. I think I've already said, like, when I was in the 8th grade and I first started manifesting, like, my anxiety and I didn't understand it, I wouldn't wear, like, if I was like, oh, well, last time I wore these pink socks, I felt anxious. I wouldn't wear those socks to school again.
Oh, that's
I don't
cool.
know why. And then I'd be like, I didn't feel anxious when I'm wearing these socks. I'm going to wear these again. Strange.
Are there any other bosses you bring full inventories of food for no reason?
I bring full inventories of food to every single boss.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the thing.
All right.
I don't know. I'm just paranoid.
I guess
I think I don't realize that I'm as good of a player as I am, maybe.
Or that you're just like 2 or 3
Superstitious.
times as endgame as you need to be to kill the boss.
I just say I'm a good player.
You're like, I'm just such a good player. I mean, I think we did this boss for the first time with like 70 range.
I'm not saying I'm such a good player. I'm saying I'm a better player than I think I am.
Yeah.
Believe in me.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, so anything else?
Yes. I wrote down stuff in my little notebook. I also got my Hunter at 87.
What'd you do?
Birdhouses.
Oh, really?
Duh. Yeah. I've been doing more birdhouses lately, more seaweed runs. Still no tingle root. That's fine. I think I might start boosting my Hunter to make redwood.
Yeah?
Yeah, because if I just take a sip of the potion, I could make a bunch of redwoods and then just bank them all and use those. Well, then I have to buy a bunch of clock things.
Wait, why would you making redwood birdhouses? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Maybe I won't do it. Maybe I won't make a bunch. Maybe I'll just every
Is your
time I do
crafting high
it.
enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I don't know if you
We'll check.
need like 90 crafting or something. I'm not sure.
Well, if you do, then no, it's not. I'll check and see. I mean, I could probably boost my crafting if I want. I'll just have to decide if that's worthwhile or not.
Or
It's only
you could just do
it.
Hunter, which would be crazy.
I like Hunter, but I'm just like, I don't know what else to do.
You say that, but I don't. Have you ever have you ever actually trained Hunter?
Not really. I was going to say I like
Okay.
Hunter because I
know,
like birdhouses.
I was like, I don't think you actually like Hunter. You've never trained it.
I like how much options there are for Hunter, though. It's weird.
Okay.
I don't do it, but I mean,
I think
it's
it
because
does
I
have-
like birdhouses.
I think it does have one of the best like amount of options out of any of the skills.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love this skill, but I just happen to really like birdhouses. I think that they're
Yeah.
nice and fun, and I like seeds because I still do farming all the time.
Because yeah, I think you could like legitimately do.
I should do herbivore and chinchompas for the pet drops, too.
Yeah, so you have those two, which are good money makers, and
Pet chance.
pet chances. But yeah, there's also I think like one of the ways you do fishing, a drift net fishing. I think it is that gives you Hunter, something like that. I remember.
The one under Fossil Island?
I'm not sure. I've never done it, but I remember looking it up, and it's like really efficient. But it gives you, I think it gives you fishing and Hunter, and it's like really good. But I just
I
never
think it's
did
really
it.
good for fishing, not really good for Hunter. Because I know I tried, if we're thinking the same thing, I tried
Yeah.
drift net whenever I was trying to get to 91 fishing, and I was getting really bad XP rates because I was not good at it.
Nice.
Not doing it efficiently, but that's okay.
Yeah, I guess I like that. There's a bunch of different ways to do it, and you could also
Yeah.
do you could go to Mulk Island and also do aerial fishing too, which is pretty
Exactly.
cool.
I think if I do others, I'll probably want to focus on herbivore or chinchompas first, just because those pets are dope,
Yeah.
obviously.
And also, yeah, if you have the access to the private area for chinchompas, it makes it really really cool.
There's not a private area for the black ones, right?
No, that's only wilderness.
I'd probably want to do the wilderness one. I would just only get like 100 at a time and then go bank.
I mean, the wilderness one isn't too bad. It's one of the easiest ones one of the easiest things to train in the wilderness of things to train in the wilderness because it's pretty close to.
Obelisk things?
No, it's pretty close to the hold. What's it called? Like the main city out there.
Oh, Ferox?
Yeah, Ferox Enclave. It's pretty close, so you can honestly bring like tank gear and probably not die to
Outrun
anyone.
them.
And also, I mean, Chinchampa's stacked, so you could just bring like an inventory of sharks and probably be fine.
You know what I was thinking too is like I wouldn't be doing chinchompas for the money. I'd be doing it for XP and pet drops. So what I could do is just like not pay attention to how much money I'd be losing if I did get PK'd, so I wouldn't get stressed about it.
I mean, yeah,
The
but
money
you
would be
also don't want
nice.
to waste your time just getting PK'd over and over and not being prepared.
I wouldn't consider. I mean, I'm obviously gonna try not to get PK'd, right? But I don't think it'd be a waste of time because I'd still be getting XP and money's nice, but money's not everything.
I mean, yeah, that's a cool sentiment, but if you lost 1,000 Chinchampas, which is
I wouldn't
worth,
stay for
like,
1,000. I'm saying if I got killed with 100, I wouldn't care.
I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. It just seems really inefficient.
I mean, I've never been very efficient at this game.
I mean, yeah, you could just spend the 5 mil, get a bulwark, and have like I don't know, like a multiple times less chance of dying.
I'm still gonna bring stuff. All I'm saying is I'm gonna be prepared. I'm not gonna be like upset if I die.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
But other than that, I also got 89 rune crafting last night.
Nice.
I didn't even know I was 88. I thought I was like 86. Apparently I leveled up more than I realized.
Dang, yeah.
So that's nice, because I did a round of Guardians of the Rift. I tried to do 2 rounds. We were right before the update doing one, and there was only like 3 of us, and it was at like, the Rift was at like 90% with a couple minutes left, and we're like, oh, perfect, we got it. But then they broke the front barrier, and it went down to 60%.
Nice.
So,
that's just more experience.
Yeah, just got small amounts of experience, but did not get that boost at the end, and did not get any rewards. It would have been like 5 rewards for each, too. But, yeah. Oh well, still more runes for me. So I'll take it.
So. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. But other than that, like this week I've been playing a lot of a game called Madison. Scariest game I've ever played in my life. I'd like to give a shout out to Dating for buying me this game, because Dating said that it was really scary, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll add to my wish list, whatever. But like I'm broke, so it probably would have sat there forever. And I also probably would have bought other games before it. And I'm so glad that they bought it for me, because am I glad? I don't know. Because it's like legitimately the scariest game I've ever played in my life.
Yeah.
And Alfresco is actually going to be making a highlight video of my reactions to it, because there's a lot of jump scares.
Yeah.
And I fall for a lot of them.
Nice.
But when you're playing at like 2 a.m., last night I just felt like our fan blew at me, and like I could feel it on like my shoulder, and I was like, what was that?
It was the demon.
It was scary. It was demons in the game. This person's basically like in the process of getting possessed. It's scary. It's a very scary game. Would recommend if you like scary games. Called Madison. It's on Steam. It's really scary. Yeah. I finished Amnesia too. Amnesia was scary, and I was like, all right, let's play this. And now Amnesia seems like nothing. Yeah. And to be clear, Amnesia is very scary. So
you're just on a scary game streak.
I guess. It's like, I guess that this is a new game too, because like
it's very new.
There's a lot of people playing it. I got raided last night by someone who's playing it with like 40 viewers, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was like popular like this.
Yeah, it's like every once in a while you'll get like a really scary game that like becomes very popular, and this
very
is
mainstream.
This is one of them.
Honestly, it's amazing, and from what I was told by someone in the chat, I didn't look up if this is true. It was written or created by like 2 people only, and it's like. It's honestly so creative. I don't know how they came up with everything.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But I almost want to go back to get some of the achievements in it, but also I don't, because it's scary. But
just play it on ultra hard and then do it again.
I played on normal. There's no easy. It's only normal or hard.
Oh, I actually didn't even know if there's difficulties.
There is a hard one, yeah. I think that on normal, I think that that's like whenever you walk by, sometimes they'll have like an eye on stuff. So you'll know like, oh, I should examine this. I'm assuming on hard, they don't even have that. So you just have to go and like scroll over every single thing in the room until you can click something.
Yeah, but I mean, if you've already played it, then that probably makes it quite a bit easier.
Not for me.
Well,
I didn't know what I was doing all that game.
At least, I mean, you kind of understand what you need to do, or you'll probably have like some recollection. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like, if you do it hard on like the first playthrough, it's probably kind of a pain.
I am considering like trying to go and do it again though, because there's some stuff I didn't do. Like there's like these collectibles. So the thing is, in this game, you can imagine why this would be scary. You take pictures of stuff, and the flash like makes you see stuff. And like whenever you develop the pictures, because they're Polaroids, sometimes you see stuff that wasn't actually there in real life. Yeah. And one of like the collectibles in the game is they have like 20 red Polaroids just randomly throughout the map. I only found like 5 of those the entire time.
Nice.
Yeah. And another one, you found this like tape that you play in a tape recorder, and it says do not listen. And I didn't listen to it. And that was actually an achievement to listen to it. So now I'm like, oh man, I'd have to go through like the entire game again to listen to this tape.
Dang.
I should have played. Well, the thing is, this is going to sound really weird if you haven't played the game. Last time I tried to skip ahead and do stuff, I was getting chased around by a Nazi ghost for like 30 minutes, and it was scary.
Nice.
So I didn't want that to happen again.
That's cool.
But now I don't think that anything would have happened. So I was just nervous. The Nazi ghost was terrifying, and he kept attacking me and making me have to start over. The Nazi ghost isn't a big part of the game.
Yeah, it also sounds so weird out of context.
It sounds very weird out of context. But it's a fun game. A lot of scary elements. That's only a small part of it. And it's not a Nazi ghost game by any means.
Yeah.
But there is one.
In case you were wondering, if that's your thing.
Yeah. But yeah, we also did Comic-Con this weekend, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, I cosplayed as Marin from My Dress of Darling one day and Yor from Spy Family the other day. There's pictures on our Instagram, which is just Bunebape if anyone wants to see. I never upload just personal stuff on there, but I was like, this was too cool. I got to show everyone. Yeah. Comic-Con was a lot of fun. We didn't have like much money to spend, and Robert kind of pointed out that Comic-Con's just like a convention mall.
It kind of felt like a giant swap meet, like if you've ever been to one of those. So it kind of just felt like everyone was like there was like just slanging their like latest stuff, and that's kind of the only reason that anyone was there. Yeah, which I mean that is what it is. It's just kind of
because we don't go to the panels.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about it. Like, none of the panels really seemed worth it, except for the ones that had massive lines. So
people were, like, camping overnight, supposedly, to make it to the big panels.
Yeah, because, I mean, some of the big panels included, like some of the cast of DC movies.
Yeah, they'd have, like, the Marvel cast.
Movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there were some fairly high, like, level celebrities, I guess, if you're into that.
It's so funny that they're in the same building as us, and we just didn't even think about it. We're just in the little shopping part.
Funny enough, probably the only people I would have been interested in seeing is apparently the people from Critical Role were there, which are...
Oh, you would have liked that.
Yeah, which are the voice actors that do the Dungeons & Dragons campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, they're super popular, so if you play D&D, you probably know of them. But, yeah, I maybe would have wanted to see them, but also that panel was also super backed up. So again,
we should have looked at the panels ahead of time, because I was also thinking about after. I was like, oh my gosh, I would have been interested in Mike Flanagan if he had any panels about shows. He's like the one who created like Midnight Mass and Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor. I'm like, shoot, should have looked it up. Yeah, because I know at least one of those actors was there because he was tweeting about it, and I'm like, I didn't even look at the panels because I'm like, I'm not interested. I should have looked.
Yeah, maybe we'll like do a better job of looking into it next year. Yeah. Maybe it'll be worth waiting around, but...
I mean, we could always go to smaller panels. They also have panels where it's just like illustrators talking about how they do it and stuff.
No, exactly. But also, like usually the smaller ones I'm not super interested in.
Mm-hmm. It's so more like the content you like to see.
Yeah, maybe if I get lucky, I'll find something that I'm interested in, but yeah.
We'll see.
I wasn't betting on it this time around.
Yeah, so we went for 2 days. We didn't stay like all day either time, and like we were talking about it because I was like, should we just go one day next year? And Robert made a fair point. It's kind of how we think about Disneyland, that we should just go both days so we don't feel pressure to have to stay 12 hours to experience everything.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to go for just one day if I went, because also it's like, what if you wanted to go 2 days? Then it's better to like
have the option.
Yeah, have the option to go just one day or just to take it easy.
Like the first day, I don't think we bought anything, but
no, we didn't.
We were like talking the entirety after the con about this like Avatar: The Last Airbender print that we saw that was so beautiful, and then the next day we went back to buy it. And how sad would it have been if we couldn't go back the next day and we just would think about it and be like, I didn't even get the artist's name.
Well, I think if that was the case, then I think we definitely would have bought something the first day if we couldn't go back.
It's so pretty. I posted a picture of it on our Discord. It's like the most detailed it has like every single character you could think of in Avatar: The Last Airbender in it.
Yeah.
Even the cabbage guy.
Even the cabbage guy. Yeah, it has
it's
everyone.
Really pretty. But yeah, I think next year maybe we'll plan more, because we didn't even like look in the books that they gave us or anything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should have read that. I don't know. Like, if you go to Comic-Con and you have like a God Comic-Con strat, then I don't know. Yeah. Maybe let us know.
I think it's more people who are coming from out of town that have strategies, but we live in San Diego, so we're just like, we're just gonna go hang out and then we're gonna go home.
Yeah, it's just like a random weekend thing. So
yeah, exactly. It's nice that we live here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's making me appreciate where we live a lot. Walking around, I'm like, we get to go home after this, not pay $400 for a hotel downtown.
Yeah.
You know those hotels were expensive during Comic-Con too.
Oh, of course. Absolutely
insane. Oh, another thing that I kind of wish we did that Robert was laughing at me for suggesting was I saw in some itineraries that they're like, come to this hotel and they're doing like an anime preview for people to watch an anime episode together. Yeah. And he was making fun of it. I thought that'd be fun.
I don't like watching animes with other people. I've never had an interest in even thinking about that.
It's like going to a movie. Oh, but you don't want to go. We don't go to movie theaters. Yeah. That's not going to entice you.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to sit and watch this with other people. I mean, it might be cool, but
I think it'd be fun because everyone would be like dressed up and be really into it.
I think it'd be only kind of cool for like certain animes. Like maybe if it was like a hype One Piece
I was thinking like a Hunter x Hunter one. Like early Hunter x Hunter. That'd be cute.
Maybe. Yes. But either way, it'd have to be like a hype episode. Like it couldn't just be like them talking and going to like this place.
A
Like
filler.
it'd have to be certain episodes.
Like one of the battles.
Yeah.
Hunter x Hunter. Except for the Hunter x Hunter battles were one battle over 15 episodes. And there were...
The last...
What's it called? Chimera? Chimera?
The Chimera ants.
Chimera ants.
Yeah, those ones,
I liked it.
I think
Robert
that
did
was
not.
like 20 or 30, maybe even 40 episodes of build-up.
You guys don't understand how this episode was unless you've seen it. It would be like multiple episodes being like, they made the smallest movement, they fight, and it'd be like 20 minutes of this. You watch 10 episodes of it, and they'd be like, 5 seconds have passed since the battle began. And you're like, what do you mean?
Oh, let us know if
that was the weirdest. I liked it.
You enjoy watching animes with other people, because I've never done that and don't think I would ever want to.
With a bunch of strangers and cosplays?
With a bunch of anyones.
What about me?
That you're not a bunch of anyones. You're
okay.
a person. It's totally different.
So we're not going to have an anime night on Discord?
I mean, it might be, like I said, it might be cool if it's like a hype moment, because like if you're watching like Luffy from One Piece and Zoro like dominating some fools or something.
Yeah.
Like unlocking, if anyone watches, they like unlock like this hockey power, which allows them to like, I think when they come back after like a 2-year like training break, they come back and like Luffy is so powerful, he defeats 10,000 enemies with his presence.
Okay, see, that would be interesting to watch.
That'd be kind of cool, because then like you can like experience the hype with like other people. But yeah, just with like a bunch of other people that don't know what's happening and don't care what's happening, it's kind of like weird.
Well, yeah, I'd hope it'd just be people who care. But basically, we didn't do Comic-Con the most efficiently, but it was still pretty fun.
Yeah, for sure.
I like seeing everyone's art and stuff a lot.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It definitely was. I think the art was, I mean, it's the only thing I really care about there. I mean,
seeing everyone's art,
the figurines,
are so talented.
The figurines and stuff like that.
You're really
cool.
into the figurines.
I mean, not really into. I don't own any,
but you like looking at them and like appreciating the art.
Well, yeah,
of them.
it's kind of just like 3D art for me, which so I like looking at them and stuff like that. Like that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think we mostly just go there to like look at the art.
Yeah,
and I think some of those were really, really good.
Yeah, and just look at the stuff we want to buy that's not on sale anymore. The Studio Ghibli booth.
Yeah.
They must have sold it the day that they began before we even went there.
Yeah, probably.
They had some cool stuff.
Like right after we got there, or in the morning that day.
Whenever we went and we saw stuff that we liked, like everything but 3 items were sold out. We're like, oh.
I kind of hate that it's 4 days long.
Because of that?
I like it because less people are going to be there because it's spread out over 4 days. But also, yeah, it's just, it kind of sucks because if you want to go there and get like your hands on whatever you want for sure, then you have to go on Thursday. So you're going to have to take time off.
Yeah, maybe next year we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, other than that, how have you been?
Pretty good. I have been playing quite a few games. I've actually been like splitting it up in like different segments of the day.
Oh yeah, you have like a schedule.
Yeah, more or less. So like, but like, it's not like strict or anything like that. It's just so.
This is RuneScape time.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I have been playing a bit of RuneScape. I did what did I do? I did a bit of Firewatch Sentinels again, but I also have been doing a bit of agility.
Oh, agility?
Yeah, it's just something I can do like kind of AFK while like looking at other stuff or watching other videos or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think I did like a few hundred laps at Sears. So
a few hundred, jeez.
Yeah, so I'm close to leveling up. But,
that's dope.
Yeah, it's funny because like you need so many laps to level up.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
I think it's like 250 or 290 in order to level up after just for this level or something like that.
Is there not another one that you could go to at your level that's better?
I mean, XP wise, no. I think Sears is technically the best XP until like 90 or something like that.
Oh, I thought Prif was better than Sears. You get to a certain level and you don't make as much XP at Sears, I thought.
Yeah, I think it's 90.
Oh, it's 90? Okay, I just go to Prif.
I think, or it's like high 80s, something like that. Either way, I'm not there yet. So I think the replacer for that is Ardoin, and I don't have Ardoin unlocked yet, or if I do, I just barely have it.
Ardoin? No, it's 90.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't have it unlocked either.
No, yeah, I was like, I think that is the next best one, but I don't have it unlocked. I think technically the werewolf one might be better XP.
But it's kind of annoying.
But yeah, it's annoying and you don't get any rewards, so I don't go there. Prifddinas might be better, but also I don't really have a use for any of the shards.
You might in the future if you ever want to buy crystal armor.
I mean, if I wouldn't hate going there and getting the shards because I can use that for herb lore, because you can use that. I think one of the better money makers.
Pots.
No, definitely not.
I thought that's what that was for.
No.
Oh.
No, that's how you make divines.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think making divines is one of the best money makers for your extra crystals or whatever.
I didn't know that's how you make divines.
Staminas is agilities.
Oh, it's the amylase crystals.
Yeah, it's amylase from the Marks of Grace.
Still crystal vibes
with
okay?
agility potions. And I was like, it's not even close, but
almost there.
Yeah. Either way, yeah. So I've been doing a bit of agility and stuff like that, and I'm like stuck between like what I want to do, because I really want to like get money, but I also kind of just am not really feeling like bossing recently or questing or anything like that. I kind of just want to get up my skills. So
yeah,
which is kind of unfortunate, because at this point, like, unless I do some crazy tick manipulation, it takes forever to get up any of my
literally
skills.
Dude.
So
once you hit like base 80s, it's just like, all right, 5 years from now.
Yeah, I was like doing my agility, and the agility it was nice because they added the agility helper on mobile, which is what I was doing it on. So it's cool. It highlights stuff just like in RuneLight.
Oh, that's dope.
And it also keeps track of your laps and tells you how many you need. And it's like, I got up to like 80 or something laps per hour, and it's like, cool. Wow. So it only is going to take another 3.5 hours to level up.
That's really demotivating.
Yeah, I was like, all right, awesome. So yeah, that was kind of lame, but it's fine. And it was cool because I also had a ton of runes, because back when I got whenever I got my account compromised, they took like all my runes. So
well, if you say like it's a secret business, it was compromised.
Well, I mean, it was
hacked is what usually people say.
Well, I feel like people just throw around the term hacked like too much.
They hacked the mainframe.
Yeah, I was like, they didn't like hack into like my email and like pretend they were me. Like, I feel like that's like actual.
They just guessed your password.
No, it was. I'm not even gonna get into it, but yeah. So either way, the account was compromised, and so they took all my runes. But after like going through Guardians of the Rift, it's actually nice to have runes.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to like worry about that or anything like that.
And you get the extra runes, right?
Yeah. So I have way more runes than I'll need for a long time. So that's
heck yeah.
That's like a weirdly nice thing that I don't think I usually think about.
Not even weirdly nice. That's just straight up nice.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Did a bit of agility, didn't level up, but I also did a little bit of Vires, didn't get anything good. I actually wasn't playing on multiple accounts for the first time in a while. I was just kind of like taking it easy and playing on just my main, which is also pretty fun. Every once in a while, it's nice to like not always be super efficient, because that can be kind of draining.
Oh, yes.
Because you're just always like looking at 4 or 5 different screens and just always having to do something.
Oh, yeah, that's exhausting.
Yeah. But besides that, I've been playing a bit of Final Fantasy because this is Michelle's fault. I had no interest in playing Final Fantasy, but then
you told Adore you would.
You promised for me that if and when Adora came back from boot camp, that we would play, and so I am.
And she's back.
Yeah, I'm following my promise. So I think I've gotten to level 42 or 43, which.
But you're enjoying it, right?
Yeah, it's a decently good time.
Nice.
As far as the leveling experience goes in general, I mean, I've played a lot of games. Like, I think most people know, I talk about that all the time.
What?
Because
you've played a game?
Yeah, if you're limited to just RS, then you don't know what you don't know, and so I like to just have experience with a lot of different types of games.
And now that I've been like playing like Phasma, Amnesia, Madison, I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool being like knowing what people are talking about, because usually people talk about their games, and I'm like, I don't even know. I've never played anything else.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like I played every game, but
I'm a well-rounded gamer.
Most popular games, I know some semblance of what it's like, and I have or I've played it.
Yeah.
So it's cool because
You're a well-informed gamer.
I know that in comparison to other games, this probably has the 3rd or 4th best leveling experience as far as MMOs go. It's
RuneScape or Final Fantasy?
A Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
So I would definitely say that it's better than RuneScape for sure, without a doubt.
For leveling.
RuneScape, as far as leveling experiences go or beginner experiences go, it's like a 0 out of 10. This is probably like a 4 out of 10, with like the best leveling experience that I've ever had probably being It's pretty close. It's weirdly enough going to be a Star Wars game.
Oh,
Yeah, the MMO, I think it's like the Old Republic or something like that.
yeah.
Um, that actually had an amazing leveling experience, but unfortunately the end game sucked when I played when it first came out, so I never played it again.
Yeah.
Apparently it's good now and it's free to play, so if you like Star Wars games, maybe try that MMO out. But
Okay.
that game has the best leveling experience, with second being probably Elder Scrolls Online. And then actually I would probably rank World of Warcraft above
Elder
Final
Scrolls.
Fantasy as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy, it's a good leveling experience, but they make you run around a lot,
Oh, that's
which
annoying.
is kind of annoying. So there's like plenty of quests where they'll be like, "Oh, go get this thing." You'll run halfway across the map, get it, come back, and they'll be like, "Oh, get something else in that same area."
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, you couldn't have just told me to do this. Like,
They just really want you to explore.
yeah, I guess so. But either way, so that's kind of fun. It's been kind of fun. I like the class and stuff like that I picked. The leveling is pretty decent. The dungeons are really nice. So and
I've
it's
been meaning to try it, but I've been like more into
You haven't?
RuneScape.
yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, I am like infinitely higher level than her because she's level 1.
I have not played at all.
Uh,
I just got my character made, and I already want to change how my character looks because it's too similar to those little twins.
yeah. So either way, it is. Oh, those twins. That's
I know.
funny.
I made my hair white, and then I saw them, and I was like, oh, "Well, this is awkward." Now I look
Yeah.
like they're triplet sibling.
That's hilarious.
Except
But,
for I had black dragon scales, so
yeah.
that's unique.
For anyone wondering, I am a cat girl. So
Naturally.
shout out all the cat girls. But
Cat gang.
Cat Gang. It's pretty cool because I think it has one of the better free to play experiences because you can play up until level 60 with the max level being 90.
That's pretty cool.
And so, yeah, you get a pretty robust experience as a new player. But either way, that's been pretty cool. Also been playing, just plenty of other games, I guess, like here and there, still League of Legends and stuff like that. But,
Yeah.
just,
Mostly Final Fantasy and OSRS.
yeah.
Nice.
But, so shout out to everyone that keeps track of how many times I say I haven't played RuneScape that much. There you go again.
He played it.
I have been playing, but
He did hundreds of laps.
not that much.
It's because the stuff that you do is skilling, so it's hard to be like, oh, I skilled so hard, bro.
Yeah. And also, it's also a thing. It's just a RuneScape thing where it's like if you don't play for at least like 2 hours a day, then you're probably not playing that much. That's like
You can't see progress.
That's kind of like the baseline. It seems like for this game, like if you aren't playing 10 hours a week, like,
Yeah.
then
Do you even game, bro?
it's just not that much in comparison to a lot of other things. So like even if I feel like casual players play like 4 hours a week for
You're a
any
little bit
game.
more than casual.
And so I'm a little bit more than casual, which is like very casual in the RS community.
Yeah. Which is like never played this game before in the RuneScape community.
Yeah,
Because people
practically.
spend all their time on here.
Yeah. But that's pretty much it. I haven't been going on too much else, so I'll keep it. I'll cut it off there so we can get into the update for this week.
Before we get into the update, I did want to say happy birthday, Ninja.
Oh,
It
happy
was Ninja's
birthday.
birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah, one of our mods. Shout out Ninja.
I gave them 27 mil.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, someone gave me 25 mil, so I was like, all right, technically I'm only giving them 2 mil.
Cool. As far as the update goes, this one's called New Client Update, Clue Scroll Helper. So actually, shout out to all the mobile users, us included now, I guess.
Hey, mobile game.
Because this will be quite a nice quality of life update and fix for any mobile or just default Steam users as well. Not default client yet, obviously, but
Yeah.
So the new client feature is called the Clue Scroll Update. So this is essentially going to be a Clue Scroll helper, the same one that you have on RuneLite. It'll tell you the location of the clue. Also, it'll give you a highlighted tile with a symbol above it so you can see it on your map as
Yeah,
well.
where you
And
need to go do your little animations or dig.
Precisely. And it'll also tell you what is required, such as a spade if you need to dig
Perfect.
for something. And there is a little icon on your map, like I said, so you can just press M and check out where you think it might be, and it should show up,
Perfect.
making it a lot easier because obviously if you've ever done clue scrolls without any help, they can be pretty cryptic sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
One really cool feature is during your clue scroll completion, the helper will also display what items you need for the current step and will helpfully point out if you have them or if they are in a previously built stash unit.
That's
So,
huge. So you don't go buy the same stuff again.
yeah, which I do all the time anyways.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. It'll save you some time. Also, pop into the settings and you'll find the option to turn the helper on or disable the hint arrows, toggle other display options so you can make it as easy, as helpful, or not helpful as you'd like.
Yeah. So it does start off. Make sure to go turn that on if you're interested.
Yes. It is off by default. Another quality of life stuff. This one is only available on Steam for the moment. This one is Npc Indicators. So this is really, really helpful for a lot of different reasons.
I use it for all kinds of stuff. It's just to highlight like different NPCs so you could see them.
Yeah, so there's different variations of highlighting. You can either just highlight the outline of them, you can highlight their tile, both. You can change the color of the highlight. So this is really useful. For example, I use this on Vorkath for whenever he does spawn the zombified spawn.
Oh, that's smart.
So you'll be able to see right away. It makes it a little bit easier to click so you don't mess up and die, because that has happened quite a few times.
It's nice for Slayer too if you're in like a crowded area, like there's multiple things. Or like I used it most recently in the God Wars dungeon. I was trying to get the ecumenical key and I only wanted to kill imps, so I just highlighted the imps and you could see where they're spawning. Yeah,
it does make it a lot easier. It highlights them through walls and everything like that, so it is really easy. And again, this feature is off by default, so if you have any of these mobs in mind, maybe turn it on. Also, it does help a lot with bigger mobs, so you can see their melee range. For example, Hunlif in the Gauntlet, you can, if you get into melee range, he can stomp you for like 45 damage. Obviously, you don't want that to happen, so you can highlight his...
Are we sure we don't want that to happen?
Maybe. You can highlight the squares under them so you can see what their melee range is actually, because obviously there's a lot of dead space around him, even though that is technically his melee range. And the final thing is going to be some additional features for activity helpers, such as the Blast Furnace helper. It'll let you know how many items are in the melting pot and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting.
As well as the cannon heads-up display, so you can now see how long your cannon has left before it breaks and you need to repair it. Also, the herbivore helper. Funny, we're just talking about that. So it'll show you the footprints and also highlight the holes that you need to go and dig up. Hunter trap timers, so that will help again with anything such as chinchompas. And finally, the Tears of Guthix timer. So anytime if you want to min-max your tiers, you can get all 250 or whatever.
That would suck doing Tears of Guthix without seeing when they're going to run out.
I have...
I've never done like that.
That's actually what I did for the first good while.
Really?
Yeah, it's not that big a deal, honestly.
I mess up even with the circles there.
Yeah, it definitely does make it a lot easier. You don't have to think whenever you do have the timers on.
Yeah.
There have been a few other changes, so some small quality of life improvements. They've upgraded it so that the circlet of water, which of course gives you practically an infinite amount of water skins in the desert.
If you use water runes on it.
If you use water runes on it. They now have added a buff to the buff bar so you can see how many there are, so you don't have to keep checking it.
Oh, that's good.
Over and over again. They've also made tooltips across the game display consistent when using the C++ client. Of course, this is going to be for Steam.
Yep.
And now this is actually pretty useful. You have the option to toggle icons on the minimap at the most zoomed level so that you can see what's going on across a wider area. So it's, if you have a bunch of icons filling up your really small minimap, then you can get rid of those.
Nice. And
also the agility course highlights are now cleared when the player dies or after 5 minutes of inactivity. So you just don't, that's for if you don't want the highlights just always there, essentially.
Yeah.
Which of course you don't. Besides that, though, there have been a few other changes, but nothing too important, so I won't be covering them here because we do have to cover the new Masori armor feedback.
Yes.
Some of the more obviously, I don't think you would need to. I don't need to say this, but weirdly enough, this armor extremely controversial. Who would have thought?
What do you mean?
Yeah. So
in RuneScape,
we have obviously RS has one of the more toxic and boomer communities, and this has been one of the highlights of that because a lot of people were really upset that the Masori armor that was proposed didn't look exactly like pretty much all the other Ranger armor, so there was quite a riot about it.
God.
Yeah, unfortunately it did look a little bit different, which I thought was cool, but apparently not for the community. So after that bit of feedback, quote unquote.
Feedback, one of the things that I think that they mention in like, maybe they mentioned in the Q&A, they quoted somebody who just said, it looks shitty.
Yeah, so it was a quote from another content creator on Twitter that said their only feedback for the gear is that it's shite. And so,
not good feedback. Yeah. Not very constructive.
I mean, that's definitely feedback, and it helps them out to a degree, but it definitely could be done in a lot of a better way.
More constructive, maybe?
Yeah,
any other ideas?
Yeah. But yeah, so either way, it has been changed now. So there are two different options.
I like them.
You have option one, which is going to be more of a traditional, like mummified pharaoh-esque type of getup, which has more traditional tans, browns, and reds. And then the second option, which is more of a darker skin option, which I do like a lot more because I think the theme does make more sense.
Oh yeah, they said they incorporate the crocodile skin textures in it.
Yeah, so a lot of people were complaining that this armor was yellow, even though it was obviously from the desert, which would make sense. But a lot of the archer or ranger gear is green, so this will fit that color set if you are also one of that mindset. Because
no offense, but who cares if it's green?
Yeah, but if you do care if it's green, this is green because it is supposedly using the skin textures from the crocodile, so it's pretty cool. It makes it thematically correct because you're taking the skin from the crocodile that you kill. Obviously, one of the 4 bosses in Tombs is a crocodile.
I'm torn between them.
Yeah, because one does have a really cool traditional desert feel, and the other one has much more of a just like darker traditional ranger feel. So
yeah, the first one too, I also like the one that's not crocodile because the helm is more like a beak on it.
Yeah, the first one does have much more of a pharaoh vibe, which is pretty cool.
The helm is much cooler, but the rest of it's mostly the same.
Yeah, so there is going to be a poll for these 2 different concepts, so I'd highly recommend checking out the 2 concepts if you do plan on voting.
I don't know for sure if I'm even going to vote. I like them both.
Yeah, I mean, do what you got to do. There is going to be a vote between the 27th, which is today, all the way up to the 29th.
So the day after the podcast comes out, vote fast when you listen.
Yeah, make sure to check your votes, and yeah, hopefully you guys get something that you enjoy. I honestly
like either one.
I liked the original.
Yeah, Robert liked the original before everyone.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why there was such an uprise in anger about the armor.
I don't like the complaint of, well, it doesn't look like range armor. I'm like, okay, it doesn't need to. It's new armor.
Yeah, the main complaint that I saw was that it didn't look like it was like traditional OSRS armor.
I mean, to be fair, Armadillo probably looked like insane whenever it was first introduced. Crystal armor probably looked insane when it was first introduced.
I mean, in my eyes, like OSRS armor looks pretty trash because it's a 20-year-old game.
Yeah, this stuff's like very detailed, very pretty. So I don't even know what they're complaining about.
Yeah, the new stuff looked really good in my opinion. So obviously, the artist did a lot of trial and error, but apparently that wasn't good enough.
For the artist.
So there is some new stuff though, and this also looks really good. So I'd honestly be fine with any of the options getting selected.
Yeah.
Moving on though, there is a quick note at the bottom is to hopefully, whenever you do give constructive feedback, try to do it constructively and as nice a way as possible because, like I said, a lot of these people, a lot of the artists probably worked really hard on this, and yeah, it's just not
I think
nice.
Artists are also like historically underpaid too.
Everyone there is, but yeah, it's just not nice to be like that to other people. So hopefully next time we can have some better constructive feedback.
One time we'll do it correct.
One time. There has been a rotation in the PvP arena, so now it's max med loadouts for anyone interested in that.
Cool.
And also there is a little bit of a merch store update, so you can get your favorite Squirk mini pins as well as infinite robes in different colors.
And the green Slayer helm pin, that's pretty cute. I like
green Slayer helm. There's even kebabs.
Aw.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But that's going to be about it for the update this week. Not a ton, but pretty much nothing unless you do play on mobile or on the Steam client.
The poll one's pretty exciting, but that's not really an update. It's just it's just cool to look at the pictures.
New information. Moving on to the Q&A summary.
The mod Q&A.
The mod Q&A. So this was with Mod Kieran, of course, Mod Squid, and Mod Light, and lastly Mod Daizong. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. I didn't see how to pronounce that, but hopefully that's it. This was pretty cool. This was them talking about mainly, I mean, like only the activity advisor, which is what we got last week. It was pretty cool. A lot of people were wondering how you get into the test because a lot of people didn't. Mod Daizong does say that it was only open to returning players who have not played for 30 days or more. So pretty much new players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So new or very, very returning players. Yeah. So those are the only people that were given it because
I mean, it makes sense.
Reason.
They don't know what to do.
Yeah. So it says that for players who have not been picked, you're going to have to wait another few weeks. They planned on testing for 3 to 4 weeks before adding this to, or adding more people to this test. So yeah, you're just going to have to sit and wait for that. Unfortunately, unless you are a newer or returning player, then you might have this option.
Okay.
People were wondering if this can be toggled off. Yes, it definitely can be toggled off if you want to. And if the store button is hidden, then the activity advisor button will be placed in the position of the store button. So it will go away pretty much entirely if you'd like it to.
Awesome.
There is going to be a lot of questions in here that I'm going to be skipping over because a lot of them are kind of the same, but I'll use this question as an example.
Okay.
A lot of people are wondering if you can add other activities to them, such as bossing or money making. For example, if you've done all your quests, is there
Like
going to
what
be
now?
other stuff? And yeah, people rephrase this question like a million different times with different suggestions. And yeah, I don't know why they answered it so many times because it kind of seems like you just need one answer.
Yeah.
But essentially, what it boils down to is they do want to add all this stuff. They are planning on adding different skilling, bossing, diaries, and I don't know about money making, if they'll add
I
that in
don't know how that would
particular.
work. But I mean, I don't know how it would work, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll add money making in particular, but they do plan on adding stuff like mini games,
Probably achievement diaries.
skilling, diaries, stuff like that. But again, apparently they do say that is going to be a lot of work. So of course, I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. Probably in the next 6+ months.
Okay.
They are going to be slowly adding more and more stuff to this as it does develop further into the pipeline.
Seems like a fairly recent idea, so I wouldn't expect it to be like fully fleshed out and completely ready to go immediately.
Exactly. And a lot of people are also asking if you can customize it in any way, maybe adding your own queued stuff or your own tasks, maybe your own challenges. No, you're not going to be able to add any of that as it is now. They may add that, but it didn't seem like they were really keen on it.
Kind of sounds like you want a planner.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing.
One final question about the customization is people were asking about, for example, if you're a 10 HP account or a particular skiller account, whether it'll suggest stuff that is obviously not suited for you. And no, it wouldn't. It actually is only going to be able to suggest stuff that you can do.
Oh.
So yeah, it wouldn't suggest stuff like, I don't know, anything I guess that would
Go
require...
to the waterfall quest and level up your hit points?
No, I mean it might suggest that, but anything that would require hit points,
oh, gotcha.
it wouldn't suggest that, or any, like, if you are a, I don't know, like a skiller, it wouldn't suggest any combat stuff because obviously you'd have one combat, so or 3 combat rather. So yeah, it wouldn't suggest any of that stuff. So one good question I thought was, people are wondering if it's been thought of adding rewards to the activity advisor for potentially more player retention. And I think I'm with Mod Squid on this one, and I think that would be a really bad idea.
Oh.
Because that would really enforce people playing in a very particular way. Obviously, you'd have
That's
to do
true.
what is suggested in order to get these rewards.
Would you say RuneScape was like a sandbox game or something?
Yeah, it's a sandbox.
You just do
game.
whatever.
Yeah, there's no direction, and that is part of the game.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's funny because Mod Kieran does sum it up in a really great way. They say you can look at it like, quote unquote, we actually want people to stop using it. Yeah, we want people to use it to get to the point that they've learned, but we actually want them to move off of it because it shouldn't be necessary all through the game. And that's exactly, I think, the sentiment. I think it's supposed to get you off on a running start, but it's not supposed to hold your hand throughout the game, which I think it definitely would if there were a lot of reward incentives.
It would just become like the new diaries.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be like playing the game, but a different version of the game where it would just be on railroads and you just would do one thing after the other until you've done everything, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think the last question I kind of wanted to touch on was actually a pretty good one. It's saying that lots of players are asking about plans to revitalize free-to-play following this update, because of course this was to get a lot of new players in, and new players don't usually start out as members. Is there any thought of potentially opening up some of the achievement diaries for free-to-play, or adding a free-to-play boss such as a giant rat or a giant goblin, and this could perhaps
Giant goblin, that'd be sick.
yeah, fill a gap in the early to mid-game group content? What are the panel's thoughts on this? And overall, I wasn't the biggest fan of the response. Essentially, they were saying that not many people play free-to-play.
It's not true, though.
And so that's not really their focus and not something that they're really putting a lot of stock into.
Oh, I don't like that. They're basically saying, you guys don't pay us, there's not enough of you, so we're not going to give you new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even Mod Karen goes into like how obviously whenever people started playing this game, 15 years ago, it was pretty unusual to have a subscription. And so it'd be really normal for people to be free to play for a very long time back in the day. But nowadays it's much less common, which I mean, statistically, maybe that is correct. But they even say that they did add some other free to play content, but generally
A whole year ago, they did Below Ice Mountain.
Yeah, exactly. At least a year ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It didn't really seem like they were really keen on adding free-to-play stuff. The TLDR they even add is people don't spend as much time in free-to-play before they become a member as they used to. And they also want to start highlighting why this game is awesome as soon as possible and give the people tools to be able to understand it and make that transition to members.
Can you highlight why the game is also awesome if you're free to play?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess that's the company's whole thing, is to make money, but it is unfortunate. Kids still play. Like, there's still, like, little teenagers playing for the first time that can't afford it.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's broke adults like us who can't really afford to pay the real money.
Yeah.
And bonds are expensive if you don't know how to make money.
Bonds are very expensive, even if you do know how to make money.
Yeah.
Because I think they're like almost $7 million now.
I know last night someone was talking about how it's so easy to make money for bonds. They're like, just do workout for a couple hours every 2 weeks. And I didn't think about it, but I have to buy 6 bonds every month for the giveaways and myself. And I'm like, it's kind of a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more than a few hours of Warcraft.
I mean, yeah. And also, Warcraft is quite a high requirement, especially as a new player. That's over 200 quest points. And if you're doing it efficiently, then that means you've also farmed pest control.
Like, I don't understand people could only buy bonds.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you have to start out with paying money.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, there's definitely people that do it, but the people that do it,
they know what they're doing.
Almost seemingly is always an experienced player.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much opportunity for, like, new players to just buy a bond and become a member.
Yeah. Like, I remember I was able to do it in free-to-play, but I was, like, flipping very actively at that point, and I was flipping several thousands, if not tens of thousands of items at that point, and that was the only way I was able to make it into pay-to-play, because if not, then you're essentially doing really, like, janky moneymakers, like...
me getting Limport roots from hobgoblins.
That
was the moneymaker.
That is not a good moneymaker, but, like...
That was it.
Like, when I first started playing, in order to make money, I'd be buying candles and hopping worlds, and that makes like 300 or 400k an hour.
And also, if you haven't played RuneScape, like / you don't know about the wiki, you wouldn't think, I'm gonna go buy a bunch of candles and sell them. That'll give me money.
And funny enough, buying candles is actually a members only thing. You have to do it in Catherby.
Really?
Yeah. So that was to maintain my members.
Wow.
Besides that, I actually made my first couple mil buying and selling hundreds of thousands of bronze arrows.
That's awful.
I would buy them for 1 GP and sell them for 2 or 3 GP on the GE.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, so it was cool because I would double my money every time, but you'd have to like go through several worlds.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Buy like 50 at a time. But yeah, either way, I don't know. A lot of people, or Goblin does say that they think free-to-play and low-level group content like that could definitely be improved upon and potentially tied in better with members' content, because sometimes it can feel
this was
like...
Squid, not Goblin.
Oh, this was Squid, sorry. Goblin's not on this panel. It can feel like free-to-play is its own standalone thing. It's there, but then you subscribe and there's all this new stuff. Yeah, exactly. I feel like free-to-play does give you... It gives you, like... I think the best way to imagine it is, you know how, like, in movies or something like that, or video games, you can, like, see through the keyhole of a door. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, true.
Where there is an entire room on the other side, and this door is a very large door. And once it opens, there's just so much stuff that you don't know that I don't think free-to-play gives you, like, a good enough look at what you're looking at.
Like potentially they should unlock some parts to make them free-to-play?
I don't know about unlocking it, but I think it should tie over to members, because I do agree with Squid a lot in that free-to-play and members feel like two entirely separate entities. Like you could
They're different games.
You could play free-to-play, and then you could like come back 2 years later and play members, and it not even resemble the same game to you.
Yeah, literally. All the bossing and stuff. I didn't know that there was bossing.
Yeah, like bossing is its entire something people do exclusively for thousands of hours and is practically not available in free to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They also do go over some like old nostalgic things on why you subscribed to OSRS, which is kind of funny. I subscribed on Tutorial Island, funny enough.
You got to remake your account, right?
What?
Whenever we did it a few years ago, you had to
Oh,
remake your account because you lost your password, I think.
well, because I was like my fifth account, and my old one I got to like Combat 40 and then quit. So this
That
new
was as a
one,
teenager, but we started playing
yeah,
4 years ago,
when I started playing again, I kind of already knew what I was going into, so I was like, all right, I'll just buy members.
we were doing it on free to play for like a year before we got members.
Yeah,
Because
I wasn't. I right away I didn't.
no, we lived together when we got members because you started a new account. We were here, and I remember it was like a holiday at our job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you were like, I'm gonna buy members. And it literally had never occurred to me before that I could buy members. So I bought it too. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that means that we were playing that for like a year before we moved in together.
Yeah.
Not very seriously.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think that's about it. There's some other interesting questions, such as, do you think agility should be free to play? I think in general that's a bad idea.
I don't know.
They go over that as well. All right, so moving on to our own Q&A.
Yeah. So we have a couple questions this week. First was going to be from Matt on Instagram, who actually wanted to ask something unrelated to OSRS.
Okay.
Matt asked, what's your guys' favorite hobby besides podcasting and OSRS?
Oh,
This made me rethink my entire life. I don't really have a hobby.
I know you don't. It's
I
weird.
watch TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all she does.
Yeah, I do. My life's so fulfilling.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's I need to find a hobby.
Yeah, so besides that,
I like doing puzzles.
yeah, when's the last time you did that?
Oh, I'm literally just like, I should be gaming instead to level up for RuneScape. Yeah.
So,
Jesus.
I mean, gaming is a hobby. Obviously, for both of us, that's our main hobbies.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, that's the reason that we started this entire thing is because our
We like
hobbies
gaming.
are our hobbies. And so, yeah, I've been gaming since I was 5 years old.
Little baby.
So, yeah, that's just been my hobby ever since. I know a lot of people I've been talking to a lot of people about this, how like some people this just drops off for them at a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
It never has. It's only gotten more ferocious and fervent.
Maybe it's not like your gaming monster within you.
No, my passion for gaming has only grown over the years.
The gaming could be your angel or your devil.
Okay, but yeah, so that's pretty much my hobby. But I mean, among
Outside of gaming?
among other things, I also enjoy hiking.
I like hiking too. No, we don't do as much.
Yeah, working out.
Cooking. You would cook a lot.
Yeah, I do have quite a passion for cooking as well. I've also like recently looked more seriously into like drawing, which is something I used to do when I was in middle school, but not since really. But yeah, not too much else. I mean, I've always been fairly creative. I really enjoyed doing stuff on like Photoshop and stuff like that, which used to be a pretty cool hobby that I did, but not for quite a while. But yeah, so not any one particular thing outside
Just
of
a few
gaming,
things.
but yeah, a few things here and there.
No, yeah, I guess mine's just like watching shows. I also really like to read. I love reading. It's just, I feel like this is just a mental thing for sure. It's similar to why I don't do puzzles, is that anytime I'm like, all right, I should sit down and do something else, I just feel like almost guilty for not doing stuff in the game. Like, I don't even care about XP waste, but I care about not doing stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, I like reading. I also like hiking. We just don't hike as much anymore. I've just been like so weird about like doing anything. Not to sound emo, but it feels like everything's happening so fast and I don't have time to do anything, which is weird because I don't know what I do all day. Anyway,
Okay.
that's a conversation for a therapist. I also didn't even say this question also was like kind of by Matt and Harigar from Twitter because they're friends. So Matt said that my favorite hobby is playing music. My favorite instrument's electric bass. I almost said bass, followed by electric guitar and harmonica. That their favorite hobby is language learning. I'm currently learning Russian. It's a hell of a ride. So difficult, but lots of fun. Bad timing with the Ukraine conflict, but I've come to simultaneously fall in love with the Russian culture and people while despising the government and politics.
Yeah, that's
Fair.
pretty common for a lot of languages.
Yeah, right? The next question from Hariger is, what's our favorite in real life food?
Oh, okay.
Easy for mine, double cheeseburgers.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, if I'm going to go like hardcore on this.
Yeah.
the buns from Costco. I feel like they're better. The Impossible meat. And the, what's the one that has, like, they have a smoked Gouda cheese? I think it's Follow Your Heart. Smoked Gouda or Chow? Smoked Gouda.
Well, they're owned by the same company. Oh,
Oh.
no, they're not. That's Field Roast.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
think it's
it's
Chow.
Chow. It's definitely Chow.
And the Chow smoked Gouda with some mayonnaise on it.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't remember or doesn't know, we are vegan. So if these
Yeah.
sound like weird brands, it's because they are.
Yeah, that's my favorite meal by far. I mean, I have like tons of others. Robert's like a really good cook. I feel very lucky for that. I get to eat dank food all the time.
Yeah, I've been cooking for myself for at least 10 years now.
Yeah, I've been cooking for myself since I was a teenager, but I never learned how to do it correctly. So I would just like literally when I was in high school, I would just have 3 pieces of sourdough for lunch, 3 pieces of sourdough for dinner.
No, yeah, I've always been
it was weird.
an adventurous cook because I grew up watching fairly
Cooking shows and
religiously
stuff?
cooking shows.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's your favorite food?
Funny enough, my favorite food is going to be like a comfort pick, which is going to be anything with rice essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am Asian, I'm half Vietnamese. You wouldn't tell it from looking at me, but yeah, so that's definitely a comfort food for me. Is like I have like fond memories of like having like anything with rice, chicken, pork, whatever. So I like creating stuff like that nowadays, but obviously vegan versions.
Yeah, he makes seitan,
Seitan. Yeah.
which is really good. That tastes just like teriyaki chicken with rice.
Yeah, so almost anything with rice is a go-to for me and would probably be my favorite food.
Nice.
Yeah. And funny enough, besides that though, if I wasn't vegan, I would say steak.
We need to find a vegan steak.
I mean, I've heard that they're making it, but also it wouldn't be the same. I don't want them to I'm not interested in that. I wouldn't want them to recreate that even
No?
though they are.
Would it weird you out?
No, it wouldn't be as good, so it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite thing that we can't make at home though is definitely vegan California burrito. There's a place in San Diego that makes it very, very good. Supposedly there's a few places that make it really good.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly. What about you?
Yeah, mine would definitely be Thai food.
Oh, yeah.
I can't make that at home because I'm not Thai. So I'm just not good at making that type of stuff. There's a lot that goes into Thai food.
We get Thai food fairly often.
It's very similar to like Indian food where it's just a lot of stuff that goes into it. And I'm just not down to spend that much time making food.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I usually just get whatever they have there.
You get the Panang curry, let's be real.
Yeah, I get the curry. I think Thai curry's
You always get curry.
the best curry. I mean the other curries are like Indian and Japanese, and there's, in my opinion, they don't hold a candle to Thai. But yeah, I really like Thai food.
I'm hungry all of a sudden.
And luckily, it's almost always naturally vegan.
I know, it's really, really nice actually.
Yeah, a lot of Southeast Asian cuisine is, so that's nice.
Yeah. So it's so funny whenever people are like, "Oh, I don't eat vegan food." They don't realize how much vegan food they actually eat every day.
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, have you never had a potato chip?"
Yeah, I mean, even the apple pies at McDonald's are vegan. So
Yeah, and the apple pies at Costco.
yeah.
I didn't read their answers. My bad. So Matt's favorite food is porridge.
Okay.
They said, "I know I'm weird. I eat it in the morning, at lunch, for dinner, for snack, whenever. I love it, especially campfire porridge. Yum."
Yeah, I don't know because they are European what they mean by porridge, but that's
Imagine
actually
like oatmeal.
It's one of the most common food options in all of Asia.
Really?
Yeah, it's a very, very common.
Probably
thing to
very
eat.
frequently vegan as well.
It's usually just well, usually it does have some. It can
Milk.
if you eat it for lunch, it can have some meat in it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but the Asian one is usually not sweet; it's saltier, and it's more mushy. So it's like porridge is like straight up poor people food. It's just like rice and water.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's different than the Western kind, but it can be eaten at any time of the day.
We're not well traveled here.
No, but
Hopefully we will be.
If you are familiar with like Chinese cuisine, like dim sum, they often have porridge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so a lot of different Asian cultures have a version of porridge.
Dope. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Harger answered, "You can't go wrong with tofu teriyaki," and I cannot agree more.
Yeah, teriyaki goes with everything.
Teriyaki tofu is so good. That's one of the things that he makes with rice fairly often.
Yeah, teriyaki goes with pretty much anything. So.
Oh yeah.
But especially good with rice.
Yes. Ray's question this week is, Should Jagex try and bridge the gap between the PKing, PVM, and skilling communities, e.g. luring PVMers into the wilderness, skilling bosses, minigames like Soul Wars? Skilling bosses I like. I'm down for that. I don't think that the luring PVMers to the wilderness will work because we already have bosses there and we just choose not to go because we'll get attacked by an entire clan.
Yeah. I don't think they should try to bridge PvE and PvP at all.
I think that how it is now, like I literally don't think that's possible to make the relationship better. Because no one's going to feel good about getting their character killed.
Yeah, well, I mean, the baseline problem for both of them is you're trying to convince someone to do something they don't want to.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That'd be, yeah, it's just almost impossible from the get-go. Because you're asking them to, like, someone that doesn't want anything to do with fighting you to then
go and fight you.
Go and fight you. Or at least interact with you in some player versus player degree.
Do you know how hard it was for me for the achievement diary to cast Ice Barrage against someone? I think that's what I had to do. I think I had you do it. I was like, come with me because I don't want to kill anyone.
Yeah.
That's how not into it I am.
It's just not something that person's interested in. So that'd be the same as being like, oh, that'd be the same as trying to convince a skiller to do combat. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just, there's nothing in it for them that they would enjoy or want.
Yeah.
So I don't think bridging that gap is not only worthwhile, but also it's
low-key impossible.
It's also preventing the game from moving forward.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's some stuff in the game that already, like, we have bosses in the wilderness. We have, like, the diaries, if you want to complete the diaries. Yeah. I'm mostly thinking about the PVM and PKers part, because that's the part I relate to the most.
Yeah. I mean, PvP exists. There's PvP worlds. All that stuff exists. I think, in general, a lot of people think of the wilderness, which is whatever compromise the game currently has for PvE and PvP. Mm-hmm. And obviously it's not good because people don't use it. I think
of it as like a burden.
Yeah, people actively avoid the wilderness. Whenever I get a clue step in the wilderness, I contemplate throwing the clue away.
Do you really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Unless it's a very, very easy one, I will just throw it away.
I think because I have like the diaries done and I can use the obelisk as much as I want wherever I want to go, it makes it less bad for me, but I don't bring anything with me to the wilderness.
Yeah, because
I know I'm just going to get killed and they're going to be like, oh, sit. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, even if I brought nothing and I die, it only inconveniences me.
Yeah. Because now you have to go back.
I just wasted my time.
Exactly.
And so I could have been doing anything else that would have been more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And same thing vice versa. PvPers don't like bossing. If you were like, oh, the best PvP gear comes from this boss, they probably would, and you can only get it from the boss and it's untradeable, for example, then they would probably either
just not do it,
hate it, not do it, or buy like a run for someone else to do it for them, like a lot of people do for their Inferno capes. Mm-hmm. Most PvPers that have Inferno capes didn't get it themselves.
Really?
I mean, a lot of them do. Obviously, they're high, especially high-end PvPers. They are good at the game. Yes. Obviously, they've done it. But
filthy casuals.
There's plenty of people that have bought their Inferno capes for not that much money.
I guess that there's a reason why people are always at the GE advertising selling Inferno capes.
Yeah, because if you want to buy a new Zerker account or a new Max account that's set up for PvP, you can just go buy that. And you'll be right into the PvP that you enjoy.
So crazy how much stuff I don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile to do that. And also, yeah, it's also like trying to balance PvP in itself is kind of seems like a lost cause at this point. It's funny because there was we
were talking about PvPers earlier today.
Yeah, there's a really popular post on Reddit recently between three content creators, three fairly high renown and high level, high end game content creators that pretty much exclusively PvP, as well as three mods. Mm-hmm. And they had a live stream discussion on how to improve PvP. And this kind of goes to show that it's like really hard to progress the PvP in this game as in combination with the community, because there's a really funny clip. You can check it out. I'll include it in the video as well, or in the description of the video on YouTube if you want to check it out. But essentially, Mod Aiza is asking them if it's worth taking out, logging out from freezing. So obviously you can freeze someone and then run away and then log out. And it's a really easy
to keep
way.
yourself safe.
Yeah, it's a really easy way to stay safe while in the rev caves. And so he's saying that maybe we should remove that essentially, so that you will just stay in combat.
Yeah, because a lot of the PvPers are like, I want there to be more risk for people. People like bring yourself in.
Yeah, a lot of them want there to be more risk and more chances for them to kill you.
Yeah.
Which of course is what they want, because then that means there's more PvP, more chances to get money, and more chances for people to fight back.
But they don't want it to be a two-way street.
But seemingly they don't, because whenever Maraiza brought this up, all three of them said no pretty much right away because they wouldn't want that, which is funny because he also continued and said that he would get flack for this, which is why I thought it was hilarious. But Maraiza even continues and says after that, what's the deal with PvPers not wanting to die? Because obviously that's the point. It's PvP, player versus player. Only one is going to come out alive. And it's funny because one of the content creators, which is known for PvPing in max gear, which is like over 300 mil worth of gear.
Oh my god.
Said because of money. Which is funny because the entire point and what everyone tells each other is to only go in PvP with what you're willing to lose. So it's kind of funny because it seems like PvPers obviously want more people active in their community, but also want them to be less prepared or have it more of an advantage for them.
They just want an unfair advantage.
So I mean, not to like say this is what it is, but it definitely seems like they just want more PvMers in the wilderness to be unbeknownst to PvPers' attacks so they can get more money.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I also just want to get free bill. You know, just do that.
Which I guess does make sense, because if they wanted a fair fight, then they would just
go to PvP arena.
Go to the arena or go to PvP Worlds and fight at the GE like everyone else.
It's a little hypocritical.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of funny. I thought I'd bring it up because it did get quite a bit of a buzz. If you are a PvPer, let us know if you think there is a good way to fix PvP, if that's even possible.
I know there's like so much stuff. We're not PvPers, so we're not that invested in this conversation straight up. But we want to know what people think, because it seems like everyone's just like, oh, PvP's broken. Like they're not making all the updates we need. And they're like, what updates should we make? Should we do this? And they're like, no. And then don't give any other ideas. And I'm like, okay, well, what should they do?
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't really seem like it seems like a very layered problem.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's easy to solve, if solvable at all, because like I said, there's that paradox of obviously you want more people to do stuff they don't want to do, and vice versa. So I don't know how I don't know how it's gonna work.
I'm just glad I'm not into PvP.
Yeah. So and a lot of people do bring up in the comments that this isn't a very good PvP game, which is kind of also a basial problem for this game. If you want a PvP, you'll either go play an FPS or other games that have actual balanced PvP, such as pretty much anything else. But I mean, like World of Warcraft has fairly balanced PvP to an extent. I mean, fairly good matchmaking system. There's actual rewards.
Yeah.
And there's a much higher skill cap as well. So
it's because they just want everyone's money.
Yeah. So
which is like fair to want people's money, but
yeah, a lot of people are just saying that if
you can't have it, it's like a two-way street. Like you can't have it be harder for them and easier for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess this kind of sums it up really, really well. Someone says it's funny because PvPers crying about potential risk due to PvPers is immensely funny. You might lose some money. That's crazy. Sorry, you thought maybe you should have thought that shit went one way.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's just like they want their cake and eat it too.
Yeah. So. Which, I mean, everyone does, but that's not how most video games work.
Yeah. I'm not saying that these people are wrong, but it's just like highly ironic. And not obviously the solution.
Yeah.
So I thought it was funny that they had the PvPers on and they also didn't know what they wanted.
I know. I think that, I mean, I'm not into it. The mods seem willing to listen. It's just like no one has ideas. Yeah. Same in the PvP arena. They were like, they wanted all these like fancy rewards and stuff. Then they were like, all right, here's some rewards we made up. And they're like, we don't like any of these. And I'm like, but what do you want? Just tell them what you want.
I mean, multi is always going to be a problem, but even just at this point, we're just getting down to 1v1s.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, probably easier to balance, obviously, but still, just something that's really a really tough issue. Obviously, no community knows how to deal with it, and it was funny because a lot of people are like, usually, I'm not with Aiza, but he brings up a few good points, which is, I mean, yeah, it's hard to side with the PvPers on this one, but yeah, I don't know. Let us know what you think if you PvP. Again, we don't really care because we don't PvP or go into the wilderness. So
yeah, it just seemed funny to us.
yeah, it was definitely just a funny thing we woke up and saw that a lot of people were freaking out over.
Yep.
So it was kind of cool. But yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed it. I think that's going to be about it for us. No more questions this week. But if you want to stay up to date with us and check us out during the week, then you can follow us on any of our socials or join our Discord community.
Yep, our Twitter is Bunebapeosrs. Our Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube are all just Bunebape. I stream 5 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape. So, come hang out with me. Potentially, maybe I'll find another scary game to play a little bit of this week if you want to laugh at me. Maybe I'll play the second Amnesia game a little bit.
Maybe.
Forgot I have that.
Maybe Outlast. Who knows?
Oh gosh, scary. We'll see. I'm very much enjoying playing games right now. And I've still been doing raids as well. I haven't gotten any raids drops. I didn't even mention I've done some raids. But yeah, if you ever want to raid or anything, just hit me up. I'm down. I could try to teach you. I'm not the best teacher, but I'll try.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is about it for this week. Yep. Thank you all for watching.
Thanks for listening. Hopefully
listening.
Hopefully you all enjoyed it.
And we'll see you all.
We'll see you all very soon.
There we go. Bye-bye.
Burp.